Oh, I'm sorry. Jean is our technician today. So thank you, Jean, for starting the recording. I am Reverend Leslie Massopust, and this is the One Heart, One Mind Center for Spiritual Living, digitally recorded Sunday morning service. And we are so happy to have Jesse Powers with us today to start off our service.
Yay! Thanks, Leslie. I would love it if you guys would do me a favor and just drop some God qualities in the chat, like little descriptions of God, because it'll help me form the lyrics as I go along. Love is community. Love is being held and free. Love is seeing you as you see me. Love is community. Ooh. Happiness is community. Happiness is community. Happiness is seeing you as you see me. Happiness is community. Open me up. Open me up. Open me up to love, love, love. Joy is community. Thanks for that one. Joy is being held and free. Joy is seeing you as you see me. Joy is community. Open me up. Open me up. Open me up to joy, joy, joy. Ooh, divinity, while I'm there, is community. Divinity is being held and free. Divinity is seeing you as you see me. Divinity is community. Open me up. Open me up. Open me up to my divinity. Okay, we're going back to love if you guys want to sing with me. You can sing at home, you can sing in your heart, you can sing out loud, whatever you want. Here we go. Love is community. Love is community. Love is being held and free. Love is seeing you as you see me. Love is community. Open me up. Open me up. Open me up. Open me up to love, love, love. One more time. Ask God to open you up. Open me up. Ask the community to open your heart. Open me up. Open me up to love, love, love. To love, love, love. To love, love, love. Thank you. Thank you for
Jesse,
participating.
for getting us going on such a high energy song.
Yeah, thank you for all the word suggestions. That was fun.
Our practitioner for today is Ralane Clarke. So Ralane, if you would please give us our invocation.
Okay, so let's just close our eyes and feel that divinity, that flow, the sacredness, the holiness, just that ease and love and compassion and depth of joy and happiness. And I know that I am one with this flow, this sacredness, this holiness, as we all are individually and collectively together in this beautiful service. And I know that this morning's service is wonderful. It already is, with beautiful music, beautiful energies, a sacred and a holiness in the flow of spirit. And for all of you that are attending and all those who aren't here today, including Reverend Michelle. And I know that Reverend, thank you, Reverend Leslie is just wonderful. Her talk is perfect in every way and beautiful, as we all are in the presence of spirit in this very moment. So we just move forward in this flow and this holiness and this love and this light. And I'm just very grateful. So I release this prayer with gratitude into the law, knowing it is already so, and so it is. So it is. And I picked a couple quotes for today, for today's talk. The first one is by Ernest Holmes. In moments of deepest realization, the great mystics have sensed that one life flows through all, and that all are some part of that life. They have also seen substance, a fine, white, brilliant stuff, forever falling into everything, a substance indestructible and eternal, and it is such times of complete realization that they have been blinded by the light of which we have been speaking. Ernest Holmes. And my second quote, just love these graphics. My second quote is from Louise Hay. Just as all the stars and planets are in their perfect orbit and in divine right order, so am I. The heavens are in perfect alignment, and so am I. My present experience is a stepping stone to new awareness and to greater glory. Louise Hay. And do we have an affirmation for the last week in August? Whatever I need comes to me from all good. Divine intelligence working through me always knows just what I need and supplies it when I need it. I receive my good daily as I go along the path of life. My birthright is freedom and happiness, and so it is.
Thank you, Ralane. Okay, I know you have another song for us, Jessie. So you're muted.
Thank you. This song is called The Blessed Way. And it's just about the flow of life and how holy everything, the whole even the dark parts. I sat still and beheld the glory white of the silk upon the dogwood in the early morning light, and the story told to me long ago returned to something wordless as it started to unfold before my eyes. If you wait till all is right, till black folds to white, you live like a blind one. And if you hold your gaze to the sky, you'll see how the night gives birth to the sun. Day to night and night to day. Isn't that the blessed way? I lay still in the deep and fertile ground as my body turns to chaos, feeding all the life around. I am home. I'm at peace and I'm at rest, and it only took one lifetime to realize I'd never left here at all. Ooh, if you wait till all is right, till black folds to white, you'll live like a blind one. And if you hold your gaze to the sky, you'll see how the night gives birth to the sun. Day to night and night to day. Isn't that the blessed way? Ooh, ooh. What is love but to open to the glory that an ordinary morning makes you weep? What is faith but to smile as the leaves change, knowing they return again in spring? Oh, day to night and night to day. All of life comes from decay. Nothing goes and nothing stays. And isn't that the blessed way?
Thank you, Jessie. For me, that is such a quieting song. Today, I'm going to talk about believing we are divine. And we live in two worlds at the same time. Over here is the world of the divine. It's a world where there's peace and love and joy and everlasting life. And it's where the laws and the principles of how the other world that was created by the divine works. When we are in this world of the divine, it is absolutely heavenly, as the phrase goes, okay? Then over here, we have the world of humanity. It's called planet Earth, where we're all living right now. And this is a place where we don't always feel that we're living in the divine, do we? I know that you all know what I'm talking about right here. So what happens over here in this world of humanity is we start questioning things. Am I thinking all right? Am I saying the right words? Am I acting all right? And eventually, sometimes it comes down to be, am I all right? Okay. I have a quote for you from Ernest Holmes that says, and Jean, if you will please bring that up. There is that within us which partakes of the nature of the divine being. And since it partakes of the natural of the by being, we are divine. It reacts to us according to our belief in it. It is an immutable law, subject to the use of the least among us, no respecter of persons, and it cannot be bound. So let's take a look at this and what it means to us. So let's start out with the end of the quote, with the word cannot be bound. What it means is that it is omnipotent, omnipresent, omniscient. Those are the three characteristics of God that we know always are. Now, omnipotence means the all-powerful one, according to the glossary that's in our Science of Mind textbook. And how does this apply to us? Say you're working on a big project. The chances are you're doing your prayer work, you're doing your affirmations, you're listening to that inner voice of the higher power that you sometimes hear when you do meditation, until you hear the answer to what it is that you're looking for. And when that happens, you're off and running. You know what it is, how it's going to happen, what it's going to look like, and you also know that you're the one that's going to be responsible for the outcome. Now, stop and think about it. In the beginning, what did God have to create with? Nothing except its thought, and its thought brought about everything that ever was or is ever going to be. It spoke its word, and that word was love. So, being created in the image and the likeness of this power, we're created the same way. We create the same way. We create in consciousness. We decide that there is something we need. We remember that we have unlimited potentiality, unlimited possibility, and we go about with our mind bringing about what it is that we want. And what it is we go to the connection of the divine when we do this, because that's where the power is. That's where the answers are. That's where the creative process takes place, is in that divine world. Okay. What has happened along the way is we have bought into a lot of garbage, untruths that were told us along the way that we believed in. Don't beat up yourself too badly, though, because then you didn't know what it is that you know now. So things can be different. They can change, okay? So what you need to remember is that you were created in God's substance. You have its genes. You have its DNA. You are God's energy from the top of your head to the tip of your toes. Whoa. I ran across this saying from a youngster, and I think he's pretty much on the pathway. I think it was probably a teenager that wrote this. It says, when you get a gift from God, it also provides you with the opportunities to use the gift, no matter who discredits it or invalidates you. Now, let's take a look at this word need that we use. Need is not a material form. It's an opportunity of expression. because we already have within us everything that we, quote, need. So need is an activation of what is already within us. You see, what happened along the way is that we made the decision to take a little hiatus, or hiatus, it's pronounced, I guess. And we were used to living in the world of the divine, where all the positive emotions are. And it's absolutely wonderful all the time. And we decided to take this little trip over to the world of humanity for the purpose of learning what negative feelings and emotions are about, how they work, how we use them, and how we can master them. But one of the things that we forgot when we did this, because we were now in a different form than we were over here in the divine, is we thought we had created a separation from the Godhead. So we forgot some of the things that we previously knew and had brought with us. We forgot that we were spiritual entities. Okay. Esther Hicks, in her book, Ask and It Is Given, has something to say about this. She says, and Jean, if you will bring that up, please. Says, allow your feelings to be your guide. Another important premise that is valuable to remember is that you are a physical extension of source energy, and that an eternal stream of source energy flows to you and through you and is you. Now, I want you to imagine for a minute, just imagine you are this cute, adorable, lovable, perfectly made teddy bear. And you are sitting on the shelf of a rather upscale retail toy store. Now, you have your information tag on you. And on that tag, it says brand and who made you. And what it says is made by God. Whoa, that makes you pretty special, because there is only one brand in the whole universe that makes these type of absolutely perfect teddy bears. There's not another teddy bear out there that is like you. On this same tag is a $sign, but typed after the $sign are the words undecided. And that's because you are the one that has to decide your value. Okay, it's up to you. How valuable do you think you are? Now, keeping in mind that you are absolutely perfect, that you have within you everything that you already need, that you are unlimited potential and possibility, that you can create anything out of nothing with just your thought and your word. What kind of price tag would you put on yourself? I had a story for you about a little boy. There was a teacher, a wise teacher that all the students absolutely clamored to. They wanted to learn from her. And over the years, one by one, all of the students left, except for one. For this one student, things were not going well. He wondered why he wasn't ready to go out in the world and do great things like all the rest of the students had. So at one point, he thought it might be the teacher's fault. So one day, he asked for a special meeting with a wise teacher. And the little boy's name was Jason. And Jason said, "Teacher, why am I not ready to go off into the world? I listened carefully to everything you have said. I've acquired vast knowledge. Why then am I not ready like all the other students? It's just not fair." Some of the students started long before I did, and they're already off on their own. "Jason," replied the teacher, "perhaps I should meet you at your house to discuss this further. Where do you live?" Jason gave her the address, but the teacher wanted more. "Can you please give me directions to your home so I can get there without a map?" And so he told her how to find the house in great detail. He explained about the twists in the road, where to watch out for the apple tree with the dead branch just before the road led to the house. He explained about the flower box to the left and the herb garden to the right. Now the wise teacher carefully repeated the directions to Jason, not forgetting even a single detail. Yes, that's right," he said. "Are you sure? I haven't forgotten anything? There's not any last minute hints you want to give me?" asked the teacher with a slight frown. "Not really. You have it right," said Jason with an annoyed sigh. Then there was a long pause as the wise teacher rubbed her chin. And she said, "Well then, am I in your home?" Jason said, "What?" a bit confused. "Am I not standing with the flower box on my left and the herb garden to my right?" said the wise teacher with her eyes closed. "After all, I have all the information I need, right down to the smallest detail." There was a silence. Bowing his head, Jason finally looked up at the wise teacher. The lesson finally dawning on him. "Oh, teacher," said the student humbly, "it is not just information and details that I must remember. I must learn to take action. It is doing this that takes us where we need to go." So now we're going to talk a little bit about action And we're going to start with omniscience, which is the all-knowing, all-perceiving mind of God, according to our glossary in the Science of Mind textbook. When you step into the presence of the omnipotent, you tap into the all-knowing, all-perceiving mind of God. That place where information is held and all is known. It knows what you need, what it needs to look like, and it also knows your current level of understanding so that it can give you further education if it's required. And it gives it to you, no strings attached. You are God in expression. We all need to stand tall and puff out our chests at times and beat them like Tarzan does, and then smile to ourselves for knowing what we know that others haven't gotten yet. The textbook glossary tells us natural man is consciousness. Spiritual man is a conscious state. And instinct is a quality in animals that allows it to know what to do if there's danger around or whatever. That's called intuition in man. And omnipresence is the constant presence of the universal whole, which we have. Another quote for you from Holmes. And that quote says, "There is one infinite mind from which all things come. This mind is through, in, and around mind. It is the only mind there is, and every time man thinks, he uses it. This is one infinite spirit, and every time man says, I am, he proclaims it." Now, Joel Osteen, which I'm sure many of you are familiar with, in his book, The Power of I Am, says these two words, I am, will change your life. This is what follows. I am will determine what kind of life you live. And here's the principle. Whatever follows I am will eventually find you. Whatever you follow the I am with, you are handing out an open invitation, an open door, and giving it permission to be in your life. If whatever follows the I am is unknown in consciousness mind, it will go into the process of creating it. Okay. Romans 4 tells us, call the things that are not as though they were. This means that you shouldn't talk about the way you are, but you should talk about the things that the way you want them to be. Because words are like little seeds that we plant. When you speak something out, you give life to it when you're saying. If you continue to say it long enough, it will eventually come to be. And this is why affirmations work. If you use an affirmation on a regular basis, it forms a neurological pathway that makes it easier to be traveled down, okay? And then we've heard the saying from neurologists before that says neurons that fire together wire together. And what this means is the more frequently you think about a thought, the easier it becomes for that thought to take hold in your mind and grow stronger. It's like when you start first doing an affirmation, you may be on foreign ground. And it may mean mowing the pathway or pulling the weeds and sometimes chopping down the trees before you're able to remove the blocks to have the affirmation come forth and work. Okay. I'm going to tell you about a project that was done in the 90s. And it's called reverse speech. And what this is, it's the process of taking a recorded dialogue and playing it backwards. Now, the person that headed up this project, he was Australian, and his name was David Oates. And he was an Australian broadcaster that was working in the United States. And what he found was rather than having a bunch of gibberish on playing the tape backwards, that every 10 to 15 seconds, there was a coherent word or message on every recorded tape. Now, what David says is that backward messages are thoughts appearing as dialogue that emanate from the subconscious mind of the person that's speaking in them. In other words, it's what the speaker is thinking silently from the subconscious. Now, when Neil Armstrong landed on the moon, and he said, that's one step for man, one giant leap for mankind. When they played the tape backwards, it said, man will spacewalk. So we have to surmise here that he was thinking probably about the next event that was going to take place in the space project. Okay. Now, bear with me here for some scientific information. What is hard to figure out about the reverse speech is the twisted time warp it demonstrates, whereby words at the end of the reverse sentence seem to be recorded on the tape before the dialogue. Now, the flip of this is that the time implies either that the subconscious mind works backwards or it is timeless. Everything that Holmes says is the subconscious mind does not work backwards. It only goes forward. Now, this is not the end of it. Like the spirit world, it is placed symmetrically as a mirror. And what happens with the subconscious thought is that it works as a mirror. Now, think about what happens when you look at yourself in the mirror. You get an automatic reflection back of what you're putting up there. And that's how it works. and we also know that actually when we see something with our eyes, it's an upside down image. And it's twisted from left to right. And since the subconscious appears to be operating the same way, we can argue that a part of us is perpetually the spirit world, perpetually always in the world of the divine. This is additional proof that we live in two worlds at the same time, the world of the divine and the world of humanity. And we are truly divine beings. My suggestion to us all would be to continue to learn how the world of the divine interrelates with the world of humanity, for we are truly divine, and I find it absolutely amazing. Let us pray. I give thanks for that higher power that is in my life, that is always with me, that is always at work. I give thanks for the peace and harmony I experience. I give thanks for the excitement I feel, for I know that there are many wonderful things yet to unfold before me, and that they all bring learning and goodness and fun and a higher step toward my oneness with that higher power. I give thanks for all the wonderful people I have in my life, that I also know that are spiritual beings here on this earth plane, having a human experience, and that we can help each other on that pathway of higher understanding of who and what we really are. I give thanks for this philosophy known as the science of mind and all that it teaches and how much I have grown from its teachings. I know that life is ongoing, it is perpetual, and I vow to use the divine every time I think about it, knowing what a great light I am to this universe. I know it to be so, I let it go, and so it is. Thank you. Thank you. Hey, Lisa, I know you're the one to give us the benediction, so if you would give the blessing for our giving time.
Yes. Oh, look, isn't that a nice slide? Obviously, these are the ways that one can give. I think that most of us are familiar with Venmo and being able to use that as a way to contribute. And I just wanted to mention that this morning I was thinking about the law of circulation and the concept of you circulate to do good and then it returns to us. And that led me to thinking about the fact that we spend money in an exchange for food. And I was thinking that that's what we do in terms of our giving to One Heart, One Mind, is that we're exchanging our coin or whatever we're giving to our own soul food. And so I encourage you to think about that and to provide for the delivery of more soul food. Oh, and then when you do your giving, you can specify which particular thing you want it to go to. And perhaps we could say together, I recognize that all supply flows from the divine givingness of spirit. My gift is a continuation of this divine flow. I give and receive from this infinite supply. I give in faith, in love, and in joy. And it flows back to me in kind. And so it is.
Devine, tell us about our announcements.
Okay. Tomorrow, Monday, we have prayer group for One Heart, One Mind at 6 o'clock, and it usually goes till about 6:20. It's silent prayer done by the group, envisioning what we would like for our center. And then on Tuesday evening, the little spiritual learning circle is at 6 o'clock. And we're going to do an overview and discussion of affirmative prayer and spiritual mind treatment, and also a prayer circle for anybody who would like prayer. That's kind of neat. Unexpected income fundraiser is still continuing. Last week, we had a $230.59 contribution to unexpected income. That's pretty exciting. And if you're participating, you'll see unexpected income grow and grow. It's really exciting. So if you're not doing it, do it. On September 17th, we're going to have a Bunko fundraiser. It will be held at the community center where Robert and Maureen live. And the address is in the newsletter. And there will be refreshments and prizes and a $20 donation. And I think that's all I have.
Thank you, Yvonne. Now, Lisa, if you would please give us our benediction, and then Jesse will lead us out with some music.
Okay. So if we all could come together and breathe together to recenter ourselves with spirit. And I am just so grateful for this service today in terms of, as I am every Sunday, in relation to being able to be reminded of our own divinity and our deep, deep connection to divinity in everyone else and to the great divinity, the source of all being. And I thank Reverend Leslie so much for helping remind us of the power of this and the power of our own thoughts, and in terms of being able to create the world that works for everyone. And I'm also very happy and thankful for Jessie and her music. And I particularly enjoyed the first song in terms of that reminder of the fact that the dark only precedes the dawn. And that's worth looking at all the time in our life in terms of divinity is always there, no matter whether it looks dark or not. And so I'm so grateful for everyone who is able to be with us today, and for the source energy that flows through our community, particularly when we are all together as one. And so I release this prayer into the law, and we release it together by saying, and so it is.
And before we have Jesse take us out, I would like to say thank you to everyone who helped make the service today possible. I wanted to let you know that it was Jean Perkel who did the beautiful pictures that we saw with the sayings, the dialogue today. And thank you, Jean, for doing that. and for Lisa, who did our benediction, and for Ralane, who did our invocation, and for everybody who came to participate in the service, and for Jesse's wonderful music. So Jesse, now I'll let you take it away.
Okay. We're gonna stand in the heart of love. Sunshine on my face and the day's made of magic. Sometimes I still find a way to make my life feel tragic. Good things pour down on me like summer rain. It's so warm. I try to run, but it's so much better to dance in the storm. See, I accept my joy without question. It's a blessing. I accept my pain without question. It's a blessing. I accept my joy without question. It's a blessing. I'm expanding and I'm standing in the heart of love. 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 Things crumble into chaos and I don't know where to turn next. Feels like I'm a failure, but I know it's all for the best. Good things are coming my way, even if I can't see them yet. And if I open my eyes and trust, I'll see that I've been blessed. Oh, I accept my joy without question. It's a blessing. I accept my pain without question. It's a blessing. I accept my joy without question. It's a blessing. I'm expanding and I'm standing in the heart of love. 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 I see my blessings and I'm accepting, no hesitation, no reservation. I see my blessings and I'm accepting, no hesitation, no reservation. I see my blessings and I'm accepting, no hesitation, no reservation. I see my blessings and I'm accepting, no hesitation, no reservation. I accept my joy without question, it's a blessing. I accept my pain without question, it's a blessing. I accept my joy without question, it's a blessing. I'm expanding and I'm standing in the heart of love. I'm expanding and I'm standing in the heart of love. I'm expanding and I'm standing in the heart of love. I'm expanding and I'm standing in the heart of love.
Thank you, Jesse.
You're welcome.
And I wish everybody, as we end this service, to go forth and have a blessed week.